put this on, right? There we go. Okay, hi guys. I wanted to do a little bit more of a different video, I guess. One where it's just more chit chat, getting to know me. And the reason I'm doing this is because I recently got a comment on my YouTube about my life being like a movie. And that just got me to thinking what I really truly want to portray with my channel. And my life is not a movie. And although it may look like that, you have to remember most of the things, especially being on social media that we post, are highlights. And that is something that I don't want to come across that my life is just always my highlights. I do struggle quite a bit with some things, and I just want to share with you because I think it'll be a little bit more relatable. And I hope you guys can see that I'm trying to be as genuine and transparent as I possibly can. I never want to come across as somebody that has a perfect life because it's just not attainable. It's just not, it's not real. That being said, before I even got into this industry, there was a few influencers that I looked up to, and living in LA, having the privilege, I guess, to live in LA, you see influencers quite often, and the gyms that I go to, there's a few of them too. But I've met some of these girls that I would see on Instagram, and 9 times out of 10, they were never anything like how they portrayed themselves, which was really eye-opening to me and also a little sad. No disrespect to them, to each their own, but I just know that's not how I want to come across. I want to show you guys who I am on camera and off camera. There's like what you see is what you get with me. I might be a little more goofy in person, to be honest, so I guess I can be a little bit more shy on camera, but I never want to show you guys an untrue side of myself. And I want to be transparent. If you have any questions, I try my best to answer them. If you are wondering too how I got from point A to point B, I'll never make something up or lie about it or say it's easy. I want to teach you guys from my experiences and hope that you guys can learn and get something out of it and hopefully save you a few tears. Because, man, there have been some struggles for myself. I can't tell you how many times I've cried over, I'm trying to think, when my app crashes to make content, when my camera isn't working, all these little things that kind of add up. And I'm a type of person that cries out of frustration. That's basically the only time I ever cry. And I want you guys to know that side of me as well. Right now, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but my screen time is, I believe, 12 or 13 hours currently, which when I say it out loud is, it's rough to admit. It's definitely rough to admit. However, I have goals, and I know what it takes for me to reach my goals, and if that means pushing my social life aside from right now, because I truly don't have one. I'm either at the gym, at home, sleeping, making food. Every once in a while, I get to go horseback riding, which is a really good escape for myself. But other than that, I don't really have a social life. But I'm okay with living the lonely lifestyle right now. I'm content with myself, and I think that's a really big part of it too. Running your own business can be lonely, and it's not glamorous. At least it's not right now. But what it's going to take for me to get to my goals is having that 12, 13 hours screen time right now, and I'm aware of that. So I'm grinding, I'm hustling hard until I get there and am able to have more freedom with my life. But that's the side I want you guys to know about, that I'm not out here just living this dream life yet. I do love what I do. And that's why it's not really that, what am I trying to say? I don't really feel any negativity towards what I do, although the screen time does bother me. But thinking ahead in the future, knowing that me making this content, editing, learning these different things is what's going to get me there and makes it worthwhile. So I don't really feel that bad about it, I guess. Something that in the future, hopefully, I will not have to do as much. But for now, this is the life I have to live to get to where I want to be. And that's something that I've learned over the last couple years too. Had you told me a few years ago I'd be where I am now, I don't think I would have believed you. And that is something, my story, I think when I talk to people about it in person, sometimes people are a little bit surprised about my history, because I think on camera and in my videos, I can come across as maybe having my shit together a little bit, but I struggled with quite a few things, even just a few years ago. And it's something that I really couldn't admit to myself up until probably recently that I really definitely had a problem drinking and some other issues. But there's a few things too I want to clarify, and I can't share everything about my life, even though this is social media and I know sharing is what it's all about. But I think there's a certain part of people's lives that need to be kept private, or a privilege to only those close to us, or my future husband, wherever you are. There's just some things that are not meant for every single person to know about me. And I hope you guys can understand that. But my past drinking problem is something I can talk about in hopes of inspiring you if you are struggling with that. And there is a light, although there are times it might not seem like it. There is. I'm a perfect example. I don't really want to get into the details, but just to put in perspective, mainly anytime I drank, I blacked out and I wouldn't remember anything. I threw up in my sleep. It was not good. It was not good. But now in July, I'll almost be 2 years sober, and that's an accomplishment that I'm extremely proud of because I really didn't think I would get there. I had tried multiple times to quit, but nothing seemed to work. And then I finally hit a spot in my life where I woke up, and I'm so blessed that I had that experience where I just knew you can't do this anymore. You have to change your life, or this is it. I'm not saying this is it as in, oh, you die, who knows, maybe. But I know if I hadn't completely did a 180 with my life and my lifestyle, my mindset, I just wouldn't be where I am today. And so I'm very grateful and thankful that I have abstained, and that has made a huge impact in my life. Not drinking, it completely changed my life. I'm not trying to preach here, but the benefits definitely outweigh of not drinking benefit you so much more in life, and the opportunities I've gotten, the people that I've met, the friends I'm surrounded with now, and the people that I surround myself with, they do have a big impact on your life too. And that's something I hope you guys can take away from my story as well. If you surround yourself with people that are constantly partying and drinking, they're going to bring you down eventually. Those people are not your friends. I can't tell you how many friends I lost due to me not partying anymore. And friends, because looking back at it, they're not my friends. And when I see them still pop up on my Instagram or something, they're still doing the same thing, my heart hurts for them because there's so much more to life than this partying lifestyle. It's fun, obviously, and do it in moderation, to each your own. But if you are in a place where you feel stuck, sometimes changing your environment, changing your friends and your habits does have a huge positive impact on your life. And that's where I'm at. But I do struggle still, especially with the lonely lifestyle. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm okay with it, but there definitely are times when I get a little bit of FOMO, or I think, man, at my age, I should be out doing these things. But I think, having lived through my past experiences, would I, I don't like to compare myself to others, but where I'm at now is somewhere I feel like I could have been in my mid or late 20s and not in my 30s. So I feel like I'm almost a little bit behind, but I'm not trying to compare my life. I'm trying not to think in that type of mindset, but that is something that I definitely struggle with. And I'm sure some of you can relate too, but you have to just not compare yourself. And I know it's easier said than done. And I do have to remind myself of that every day, but that's definitely one of my struggles. Another one of my struggles that I have almost daily is knowing when to ask for help. I have this mindset where I feel like if I ask for help, I'm a failure, which is absolutely insane because it's so inaccurate. And it's interesting because when people ask me for help, I love it. I love helping people out, and I like to share my experiences. And if there's something that you're struggling with that I've gone through, I love to share how I got out of it so that you don't have to go through all the steps that I had to get from point A to point B to better my life. I love helping people. So it's just interesting to me how my mind thinks that if I ask for help, I'm a failure. Something that I'm working on. And the times that I do ask for help, I don't think it's ever been a negative experience. So that's another way you can look at it too. What's the worst thing that can happen if you ask for help? People say no and you're in the same spot. And I think when I look back to, had I asked for help a few years ago with certain things, I think I'd probably be a little bit ahead of my time, but learning experiences. So everything happens for a reason. And I think if you have a goal or you aspire to do something, just know it's attainable. And sometimes it feels like you might be stuck somewhere, but what's meant for you is meant for you. So, will you struggle? Probably. Do I struggle every day? Yes. Nothing worth having in life is going to come easy. You have to fight for what you want. And that's something that I want to instill with everyone too. And it sounds so cheesy to inspire and empower, but it that is what I want to do. And I hope me making this video, I know it's not as detailed as it probably could be, but I'm hoping that you can see that I'm just like everybody else. I'm not out here trying to portray this glamorous lifestyle that I have or don't have yet. Maybe one day. But even then, life is not perfect. There's going to be ups and downs. I have my bad days, I have my good days. But I think my main thing that's helped me is just being indifferent to certain things that happen to you and how you react to it. Everything in life is a lesson. And I think that's a mindset that if you adopt it, it might help you out a little bit. Not to be so reactive towards the things that happen to you or the way people talk to you or things that people do. You don't be so reactive. If you knew me, even I'd say like 5, 6 years ago, you'd know I was a very reactive person. I mean, I was very emotional. And now I'm able to just take a calm moment and realize that a lot of the little things in life, they don't matter. They really don't. I mean, if you even think back on something that you had struggled with a few years ago, look at it now and you're probably thinking to yourself, "Oh, that was nothing." So if you just keep that mindset, I think it can benefit you. So I'm hoping this video helped you in a little way. I don't know, but let me know if you want me to do more of these chit chats because I think it might help you get to know me a little bit more and put more of a realistic approach on my personality. I don't know if that sentence made any sense, but I feel like you guys know what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions. As always, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them and be as transparent as I possibly can. Because being real to me is probably the most important thing on social media. Yeah. I think I'm going to just start rambling, so I'm going to stop now.